Take a look at the problem facing us in this situation. The black is hanging over the jaws of the center pocket and would normally be an easy pot. Unfortunately, as we can obviously see from the overhead camera, the cue ball's path is hampered by the red ball. In fact, it's a full ball snooker. No problem maybe in an ordinary game. Any of the escape routes off the cushions being highlighted now would offer reasonable chances of potting the black. If you were feeling lucky, however, you might decide to forego all the cushions and play the pot something like this. If we watch again in slow motion, we can see that Jason creates a perfect curve with the white, swinging it around the red to pot the black. The Masse is probably the most famous of all trick shots. In most people's eyes, getting the cue ball to spin in a tight arc around another ball seems to go against the laws of physics. They find it fascinating that the white can start off in one direction and finish up going in another. To play a shot of this caliber takes a lot of practice and a great deal of skill. The setup, of course, is easy. Just place the black on the lip of the middle pocket, an obstructing ball on the cushion about 3 inches away, and the white a few inches further on again. It's playing the shot that's hard. Before you try anything, get your stance right. The experts amongst you will know the correct way to stand is usually as the professional is now demonstrating. Feet planted firmly, and the body leaning into the stroke with the chin well down onto the cue for accurate sighting. When it comes to playing any type of swerve shots, however, everything changes. The stance must be shifted to a more upright position and the cue action shortened. The bridge hand raised to allow for a downward strike. If you own a telescopic cue, by setting it at its shortest length, you will still be able to hold the cue normally and greatly increase your chances of success with any type of swerve. For the Masse itself, you must stand virtually upright, actually sitting on the edge of the table if you prefer. As we can see, this will allow you to hold the cue almost perpendicular to the table. This is essential as you need to create a substantial amount of downward force to allow the white to really bite into the cloth. Notice also how Jason's grip on the cue has been reversed to play the Masse. This type of grip is not crucial to the success of the shot, but most players find it more comfortable. The most important factor when actually playing a Masse is where you hit the cue ball. If we switch to overhead slow motion once more, and imagine the white to be a clock face, on this occasion it needs to be struck at 5 o'clock, as the professional sees it, to achieve the desired effect. If we zoom right in, we can see clearly where Jason is aiming. The Masse stroke itself should be medium paced with a smooth follow-through. If you do manage to achieve the perfect Masse, you are to be congratulated, as it is normally only within the capabilities of a professional. One of the most common faults when attempting the Masse is hitting the cue ball too hard, giving it no chance of completing the intended arc. Making too thin a contact on the white, as we see here, is another problem. At best causing a miscue, at worst damaging the bays. The Masse is all about control of the cue ball and will probably take most people months to master totally. If you are one of the few who can play them, however, you can count yourself as one of the best.
Masse is probably the most famous of all trick shots. Swerving the cue ball in a tight arc is always spectacular, but with a factor of 9.7 out of 10, it takes some practicing. The setting up is easy though, 5 seconds tops, and you don't need any other accessories. Although you will always need to hold the cue almost perpendicular to the table, the action you put on the white will depend on which way you want it to curve. And remember, a medium pace will achieve best results.
Most players, even professionals, find the Masse a very hard shot to perform. So for this reason, I'll give it a 9.4 out of 10.